So today is day 5 and you're going to need colour 4 as we tackle our next panel. And today we're going to be doing waffle stitch. Now all I want to mention before we carry on is why it says the word horizontal or vertical alongside yesterday's bubbles and today's waffles. And that's just because as we move further into the blanket and we're going to increase that out, the pattern has been specifically written for whether it's running vertically or horizontally. So whenever it refers to vertical or horizontal, if you hold your piece that you've made with your stitch marker at the bottom closest to you, the verticals will be the ones that are vertically like that, so that last one that we did yesterday, and the horizontals will be the ones that are running horizontally this way. Just to clarify that, you don't need to worry about it yet. It's only once we start increasing this blanket pattern out and it gets bigger that you'll just need to pay attention to whether it's a vertical or a horizontal that you're working to make sure you've got the right bit of the pattern. So whenever we're rejoining to make a panel from now on in, the last panel that you work, so the one that we did yesterday, have that at the top. And if you are a right-handed crocheter, you'll always be turning your work clockwise and starting in the top right-hand corner. And that goes absolutely for every single panel from now on in. So that's always the process. The last one you worked, turn it clockwise and right-hand corner. As a left-handed crochet, you're going to be going the other way around. So if you are a left-handed crocheter, you just need to rotate yours anti-clockwise, and then you'll be starting from the left-hand corner, following exactly the same pattern from there on in. So on this next one, this will be the first time where we're basically combining two things. So what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be actually doing the stitches into the rows, into the row gaps. So that's what we did here. We did them into the row gaps. So initially we're going to ignore our double crochet one and go as if there were 6. So we're going to be working into our row gaps, and then we will actually then be going on to working into the tops of the stitches. So just to clarify that first, we'll go row gaps and then we'll go into the tops of the stitches. So I'm using my colour 4, which I'm using steel for, and I'm going to be rejoining into this top corner here, chaining 2 and then trebling 1 into my first hole. And then as I go along, I'm going to treble 2 into each of those roll holes again in the same way. So this is exactly the same technique that we did on the last one. So you'll have 12 by the time you come off the edge of that one. And then what you need to do is be able to get 24 off the edge of this cream panel. Now, this one can hide at the end where you've got your slip knot when we first started. So what I would recommend is to actually count 24 from this corner here so that you can be sure of where you're getting them from. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, so that you can be absolutely certain that you're going to get 24 out of this cream panel. Well, it's cream on mine, but our first panel that we made. So 1, 2, 22, 23, and 24. And again, if you do want to just go nice and steady, just double check that you've got all those stitches in place before you carry on. So you should have 24 across that panel, and then you'll have 12, including obviously your 1 will be your chain on the end. So 11 really with your chain on the end, ready for us to turn and work these stitches. So what we're going to do is chain 2 like we normally have been doing off the edge before we turn, and we're going to do a back post treble first. So just to recap this, because we haven't done it for a couple of days since we did that rib. So yarn round your hook first, miss that first one that's there and go up between the 2 to push that one away from you because it's a back post. Yarn over and through to the point you've got your 3 loops and finish off that treble. So that's a back post treble first, and then we're going to treble 2 into the tops of the next 2 stitches. Now, just as a word of warning, what you need to try and avoid doing is accidentally reworking the one that you've already done the back post on. So it's not that one. It'll be right across here that you need to then do into the normal stitches, 1 and 2 trebles, and then we're going back in for a back post in the same way. So round the hook, in up between them, push it backwards, and then 2 normal trebles following that. So just make sure you're not reworking, like I said before. It feels like quite a long way over to do those 2 trebles into the tops, and then back in for a back post. And you can see straight away that it's forming that waffle texture on the outside of the fabric, because these are your back posts, which effectively become your front posts when you are on the right side. So just to recap, that theory is the fact that because we went across first on the right side, the reason why we're doing a waffle stitch with a back post rather than the front post is because we want these posts to appear on the right side of your blanket, so the same side as the bobbles. So when you finish, you'll be finishing with a back post, followed by a treble into the final top of that tricky chain that sits underneath. So just to clarify, when you finish that row, then you should have 12 of those back posts as you work them, but that appear as front posts on your work. So you can count those: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So then on our return row, what we're going to be doing is exaggerating that waffle pattern that we've created by inverting it. And then these horizontal ones will obviously be formed in between. So what we're going to do is chain 2, and then where we did the back post, so where they appear as the front post this time, so where you've got those lines, we're going to treble into the top of those ones. So normal treble into top of those ones, and then we're going to back post the 2 in between. So we go round, and then your 2, the ones that are sitting flat against the fabric, you're going to back post those, so that then it really emphasizes that texture, because it becomes really 3D as you push those 2 backwards. So then on for the post, we're going to treble into the top of that one, and then back post our 2 in between. So it's an invert of the pattern that we did on the last row. So it's 1 treble, which is always into the top of the one that you've already, the front post, and then invert by pushing those 2 in between backwards with a back post. 1, 2. So treble into the top of this next one. So just to go nice and slowly again to recap on these last couple of repeats. So what you're always doing is you're going and trebling into the top of the post that's coming forward. So you can see that there, you're trebling into the top of that stitch, not front posting, trebling into the top of the stitch, and then doing 2 back posts in between. So you'll be doing 2 back posts and then finishing on 2 final trebles. So repeat exactly what we've just done, another few rows, and then you'll be ending that panel on a row 2.